Hey everybody, come on in. This is a special episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Our regular night is on Wednesdays, and we'll be back tomorrow. But this is a special little episode that we're doing, and the reason for that is we're going to try and grow the YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to try to do it by the end of this feed. I got a really good feed plan for you guys, a good show plan for you. This is my favorite show. So I hope you don't mind having 2 episodes of it this week. I hope that that's okay with you guys because we're going to do a special edition of Conspiracy Theories and Chill tonight. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. But the main purpose is to grow my YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. I think we can do it tonight. I only need about 70 more, and we can hit it tonight. So we're going to do this show, my favorite show, Conspiracy Theories and Chill. So come on in, like and share, invite your friends. It's going to be fire. I got a great one planned. It's going to be themed around what woke you. And I'm going to tell my own personal story. We're going to share our own stories. That's going to lead us down a lot of different rabbit holes. It's going to be really fun. So come on in, invite your friends. I'm going to share one more time because I am going to start a watch party. And now I'm done sharing. So welcome back to Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and welcome to Me on Things and Stuff. Now, most people who know my shows, they know about Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's my baby. That's the original show, the original OG. It's been with us since the very beginning. It's my favorite. But what is Me on Things and Stuff? Well, Me on Things and Stuff is my YouTube channel, and it's the hub of all the things that I do, entertainment wise. I am a professional live streamer, so I do all kinds of stuff. And this is my favorite show. That's why we're going to do a special edition as a subscriber boost, because I want you guys to follow my YouTube channel, Me on Things and Stuff, because I already do hub everything from here. So if you're here on YouTube, this is the home of the media empire I'm trying to build. I'm trying to become an independent journalist and do independent shows and grow and become a voice of truth. That's my dream and my goal. If you want to support that, there are links in the description to my Patreon. Please subscribe to me on Patreon. Show that you support what I'm doing and support the truth and support independent journalists. Or give me a high five on PayPal. Or just like and share. I like free stuff. I'm poor. I understand. So anything helps. Comment in the show though. Participation is real important because that helps in the algorithm and get out to more viewers. But if you're here on Facebook, I want you to share the YouTube link, please. That's what you can do for me tonight to help me grow. We're going to hit 1,000 tonight. I'm telling you, we're going to do it during this feed. So share the YouTube link on my timeline. I shared it right before I started this feed. Share that if you want to share. Not that I don't want you to watch on Facebook. Please watch on Facebook. And we are in a watch party in a QAnon group. Hopefully we don't get kicked. But come to the YouTube channel. I can't get to you right now to give you a link, but it is Me on Things and Stuff on YouTube. And the link to this very show, same show, just on YouTube, is on my Facebook timeline. So I want to hit 1,000 by tonight, and we're going to start the show. What I want to do is tonight I want to get into what woke you. I think what this show's always been about, really, is spreading the truth in a way that's easily accessible and easy for people to take in, and in a way that's fun, where your defenses aren't really up, you know, where we just share stories and talk like real people and participate with the audience. And those of you that have been with me for a while, I've been doing Conspiracy Theories and Chill now for about 3 years. So those of you who've been with me for a while, they know what it's like and what we do, but it's supposed to spread the truth. That's the most important thing that we need to do. It is the responsibility of us woke to wake the others. That is our job and our responsibility. We need to take full ownership of that and realize that and own it moving forward. Take it to heart that nothing in this world will change or get any better if we don't realize that it's all on us. It is 100% our responsibility to do all we can to spread the truth and wake the others and speed this mass awakening that's happening. And it's not about politics, nothing like that. Conspiracy Theories and Chill is not about politics. I'm not even into politics. I don't host a political show. I host a revolution show. It's not the same thing. We can get into that later if you want, but that's not part of my main theme. My main theme is what this show is about, and that's about the truth. And I want to talk about what woke you. So share your own personal stories in the comments, and we will get into all of that. And I'm sure that will lead us down a lot of different rabbit holes in a lot of different areas and get us talking about a lot of different things. So share your own stories. Right now I can't see them because I'm looking at my show notes. I find that makes it a little better. Things happen to flow a little smoother. And I wanted this one to be really sleek and smooth. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And we always participate in the comments. So I will get to that. I'm going to tell my own story real quick. My own story begins where a lot of yours might. I was semi-woke before 9/11, 2001. But I remember that day like it was yesterday. Like probably people that remember the Kennedy assassination who were alive during that. They probably remember everything they did that day. I could probably tell you what I had for breakfast that day. But I was asleep when it happened. I was delivering pizza at the time and doing comedy, doing stand-up. And me and my first wife were in our first apartment, actually. She came home from work and told me that the World Trade Center was gone. And I thought she was lying. I thought she was messing with me. I was like, no, it's not. She's like, turn on the TV. And She was right. Every damn channel, nothing is there. Now, I'd always been into skyscrapers. I'd always loved skyscrapers. So it never sat right with me that this huge complex, two 1,300-foot buildings collapsed to dust. Ever. And at first, I bought into I didn't question anything. I mean, I asked questions, but not deep enough, and I never found anything out or looked behind the curtain. At first, I was so upset. Like, what happened? I watched endlessly. I would look on YouTube, everything I could find about the events of 9/11, and that was all in its infancy. There wasn't a whole lot, but I looked everywhere I could get it. Most of it you had to get from the mainstream media. I got every CNN video, every newspaper, every magazine. I had them in a tote. And I also had some Titanic stuff. I lost that in the divorce, but I had a massive collection of 9/11 stuff is the main point of this. I was obsessed with it, and it never sat right with me. And now that I've figured it out to the best of our ability, and I at least know that it's a false flag, um, fake operation, and at bare minimum, the government was complicit. I don't think they just knew. They had to help and did help. And there's much evidence for that. And we can get into that if you guys want to. But what I'm really focusing on right now is the story of that day and what happened to me after that. So I started listening to NPR like every day endlessly, all news, all the time. And this was before I had questioned anything. Like I'm saying, we're telling the story of when we woke up, started realizing how much was wrong. I knew things were wrong before. Like I knew Kennedy was assassinated, not by Lee Harvey Oswald, but assassinated. And I knew it was probably by the powers that be and the elite. Knew that. I think most people knew that. There were movies about it. Kevin Costner made a movie about it. So yeah, I knew that. I knew there were bad things. I knew there was evil in the world. But I didn't know how entrenched it was. I didn't know the things I know today. You know what I mean? I had the average person's knowledge. Someone with enough street smarts and common sense to function in the world, The average person, I think, knows a whole lot. They just don't know everything. They need something to shake them awake to the fact that it's much, much darker than you would ever imagine. And that's 9/11 is what did that for me. I said I knew about that other stuff. I was a fan of William Cooper, listened to his shows. I knew about like things like Ruby Ridge and the government overreaching their limits and different things like that. I didn't trust the system. I kind of lied. I was a little more informed than your average bear, but I still didn't question things like this. And William Cooper, speaking of William Cooper, was actually, I believe, murdered because of his spreading of the truth about 9/11 in the period right after and in the period before. Because in the period before, he told everybody that they are building towards something to blame on Osama bin Laden. They're building up Osama bin Laden for something to blame on. Watch for that and don't believe it. When it happens, don't believe it. Next thing you know, Osama bin Laden is public enemy number one. Bill Cooper was right. He starts questioning the 9/11 event and dies of a heart attack. He was only in his 50s. Not that doesn't happen. But I believe to my core he was killed for telling the truth. Because he operated out of his garage. I talk about how I may end up like my hero. He operated out of his garage on a shortwave radio. And he took callers and he had a pretty decent reach. Not maybe it wasn't shortwave. I don't know exactly his setup, but he was in his basically his home setup, his home studio, broadcasting his own show about the truth. And he reported on a lot of truth issues, a lot of things like the Illuminati, moon landing hoax, Ruby Ridge, which we just did a recent conspiracy theories and chill on, even though it's not a conspiracy theory. Like a lot of the things we get into, like I said on this show, are about spreading the truth. That's what this show is really about at its core, is spreading the truth and waking people up in a fun way, in a conversational, inviting type of way where we don't judge anybody. And we usually don't have a very aggressive comment section. So people are pretty open here. It's like an open-minded group. It's fun. It's a good little show, and that's what we do. But 9/11 at first I believed it. Like I said, I went along with it, and I was so passionate. It was so sad. People falling from the buildings, just collapsing to dust, and I watched that over and over and over and over again. And I watched all the coverage I could see, everything, and there was just some things wrong. Like the big one, first one that got me, the nose out. That was one of the first things I started investigating was the nose out. Do you know what I'm talking about? When the planes hit the towers. Let me check the comments a little early. Do you know what I'm talking about? The nose out video that was shared on the news the day of, and it was put out in a lot of their um, publicity and stuff about 9/11 at first, but it's not really focused on anymore. The nose out videos. Hey Kilo, hey Slace and Jeffrey. I don't know why YouTube comments tend to hit me late, but maybe there's a delay or something. But I don't think there is, because usually it seems pretty interactive. I, it's probably just a fluke. But come on over to YouTube. Since I brought up YouTube, I might as well plug the channel again. Me on things and stuff on YouTube, and the link is on my Facebook page. If you're here on Facebook, we are getting to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this show. I've already decided it's going to happen, so it's going to happen. So we're going to have a great show, and at the end, we're going to have 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to talk about what woke you. We're going to talk about how to wake others. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But come on over to YouTube to do it on Me on Things and Stuff, and the link is on my timeline on my Facebook page. So you can find it right there. Same show, just on YouTube. And Slay says you got the notification right on. Hey Jeff. Jeffrey's from Facebook. I recognize your name from Facebook. Thanks for coming. Hey, Kilo. Good to see some people here. Please subscribe and share. Share this, please. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. And, we're going to do a full-length show, so don't be afraid to share it and think it's going to end in 10 minutes. This is going to go the same as we always do. It's going to be a regular conspiracy theories and chill. So share it out, but come over to YouTube and check out the channel. Me on Things and Stuff. That's what I'm trying to build tonight. That's the goal tonight, and that's the purpose of this feed, is to grow that channel. And what we're doing is telling the stories of what woke us. And then I got other things planned for us later coming on. But 9/11 woke me, and the nose out bothered me. The collapse of the buildings bothered me. Just the logic of it. And then I started looking into how could that happen? And it can't. It's never happened before. It's never happened since. Only 3 times in the history of steel frame buildings, which is why they build mouse steel, has that ever happened. And they all happened on 9/11 on the very same day. It's an incredible coincidence if you believe in coincidences, but there's absolutely no reason to believe in coincidences. Most detectives will tell you there's no such thing as coincidence. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. Herbert, William, Cameron. Nice little group on Facebook. Come on over and hang out with us on YouTube. Break your YouTube legs in. Me on Things and Stuff. You'll find the link on my Facebook page. But Slay says, I remember watching Bush read to kids and saying certain words, steel and plane, and a few other interesting words. Yeah, you're right. I don't remember the exact words either, but you can look that up. And Michael Moore had a footage of him in a documentary. It was one of the first things I saw that I realized something was wrong, and I realized a lot of people have picked up on this since. I'm not giving you anything new right now, but while he's reading, my pick, and they're actually, when they come in and tell him, the guy whispers in his ear, and they tell you later what he had said, but he could have said anything, but what they tell you is he says we're under attack, right? He knows. He says he saw the first plane hit on his way into the classroom. Did you know that? He claims to have seen something that he absolutely could not have seen unless there was some kind of other footage of it, because the only footage that exists of the first plane strike is the Naudet brothers footage. And they were in New York filming a documentary on some firefighters and just happened to catch the first collision, if you believe in coincidences. But I don't. Anyway, that's the only existing footage, and it didn't air on the news. They didn't get that till later. So how did Bush watch it hit? Anyway, could be just a mess up or gaffe. Put his foot in his mouth. Overspoke. Could be the truth. Could have really saw it, but he knew about it going into the classroom. That's important to the story. So when the guy comes in to tell him, he already knows something's going on, and then now he knows we're at war. We're being attacked. He's the president, the leader of the military, and he has to make a decision. And watch him. Just watch him. Look at his face. There's been body language experts that have broken down the video and have analyzed his body language in that particular moment. But do it for yourself. You don't need to be a body language expert to see it. First off, the guilt. Like right away. It's completely obvious. Like I think he was a patsy in this whole thing and probably would have been a fall guy had it ever came down to it. The person I think in that administration that was pulling all the strings to begin with would have been Dick Cheney. I don't think George Bush was even really president. You know what I'm saying? I think Dick Cheney was the president and George Bush was the public president. Dick Cheney was the real president. And I think everybody in that administration understood that. And I think that's what their arrangement was. I thought that before that little movie Vice, but that movie Vice even gets into it. And that's how I think it was. But he knew. He knew. There's knowledge in that face, too. There's knowledge in his expressions. And then look what happens after, right? We'll just focus on that moment for a minute. That whole thing is weird. So he's there at an elementary school. That's a public appearance. Everyone knows he's there. It's on his itinerary. So everybody knows where he is. He's the president of the United States. He's an active target now. We're at war. They don't move him for like an hour and a half. He was never in any danger. Now, how did they know that? How could they possibly know how many more targets there were, what possible targets there were, and why wouldn't they consider one of the primary targets in attack on this country the President of the United States? The Secret Service makes no effort to get him to safety. He stays there for like another hour, does a press conference, then he gets on Air Force One, and they spend like another 2 hours in the air flying around. So Slay says there's an Illuminati card game. One card has 2 towers hit by a plane. You're absolutely right about that. And you believe Bush drew that card long ago. This game came out before 9/11. So you think they play it? You think they draw cards from it? Let me tell you this. Did you know there's a Bernie card? I didn't. I just found that shit out. I don't even know how to feel about that now. But I didn't know that. That bothers the shit out of me. Because that game it ain't the only thing. 9/11 ain't the only thing that game has been right about. That game's been right about a lot of things. And that ain't the only predictive programming that they did for 9/11. Not that that game was, I don't know that it was intentionally made mainstream, but you didn't know there's a Bernie card? Maybe there's not. Please let there not be. But I've heard that there's an old man speaking to a huge crowd, and it's like political revolution, something. I don't know if it's that close, but I read an article saying that there is. Did not verify it. Probably shouldn't have said it. But I do that sometimes on this show. But whenever that happens, I will tell you that that particular thing I don't know to be true. But the part about there being a 9/11 card, there is a 9/11 card. It's called like terrorist strike or some shit like that, but it exists. Kilo says a wild day. Oh, let me look at these. Was in the National Guard at the time. Cheney, 100%. I believe that 100%. And all right, I'm caught up on YouTube. Let's check at Facebook. Hey Albert, good to see some people here on Facebook. We're doing a promotional thing tonight, a special conspiracy theories and chill. To build the YouTube channel. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I am determined to hit it by December 10th, but I think we can hit it tonight if we get enough shares on this video. And please share the YouTube version if you're here on Facebook. Go to my channel, my timeline on Facebook, and I share the link. Share that, and then come hang out with us on YouTube. I'm trying to focus over there, and We're trying to build that up because that is the hub of everything. And I'm currently being throttled. Everything I do is being throttled. You know, QAnon, the group I'm in, doing a watch party, they haven't kicked me. There's 3 people watching in there, but it's not showing up on anybody's timeline. You know what I'm saying? They throttle you, they shadow ban you. They're shadow banning me hard. So I really want to promote me on things and stuff. That is the center of everything. So everything goes up on YouTube. That is the hub of the media empire I'm trying to create. I'm eventually going to get other creators on board and other shows for you guys. I have sometimes up to 5, depending on how many I can keep up with at the time. Currently, I have 3, but regular updates on the channel. It's a great YouTube channel. I'm very proud of it. So come over and subscribe on YouTube, me on things and stuff. And I will add the link. I wish I'd have got it before. Let me get it right now. I'm going to share it in the comment section right now. But come on over and hang out with us on YouTube and subscribe, most important. And if you're here on YouTube right now, there is a good group on YouTube right now. Share it out. Get it out there and help us get to 1,000. We're not that far away. We need like 70 people. So it's totally doable, can totally happen. Come on over. But until then, thanks, Joe. Till then, hey, Ginger. Till then, we're going to get into a little bit more of what woke me and then what woke you guys. So for me, it was 9/11. And then the further I dug into it, the worse it got. The more I realized things are not just bad, they're very bad. And then you look a little deeper and you realize they're not just very bad, they're evil. They're downright evil. What's going on is literally evil. It's scary when you really start to realize that. I've been told before that conspiracy theories, that people believe in conspiracy theories for some kind of a comfort, to make the world make sense, that the world is really just chaos, and these coincidences really are just coincidences. But that's much harder to believe. So we make up this reality in which all the strings are being pulled by rich and powerful people. And somehow, because that makes the world make sense, we find comfort in that. And I get it. That makes sense. And hopefully I did a good job of telling the theory as it is. But I think it's bullshit in the end, because conspiracies are real and theories are real. And you put them together, it's still real. Every detective, every investigation, they use theories. They bounce theories off each other. They figure out what's until they find out what's true. And science works the same way. Logic just doesn't work that way. The CIA weaponized that term, as a matter of fact, right after the Kennedy assassination, to discourage people from free thought and from listening to people that thought about and talked about what was going on in truth. And they still do it. Then they're doing it. Today they're doing it at such a level that it is fucking frightening. It's terrifying. I don't know if it's okay to say the word if you say it quiet, but I couldn't have stopped myself. It's terrifying. So if Liz is here, I'm sorry, because I did share it to Liz's group. But, and I hope she is here, because this is my favorite show, and I like to show it off. And I'd like to, her help if you guys could, the pin group, to help me grow my YouTube. We're 70 away, dudes and dudettes. We can totally do this. But that's what woke me. And like I said, the deeper I looked, the worse it got. And it was never comforting. That's not comforting to me. I'd much rather believe everything is chaos. Come on. It's not believable. Don't make no sense. None of it holds up. 9/11 is one of the worst. It doesn't hold up at all. Holds no water at all. And there is stuff I still don't understand to this day. Like, there's people that have theories of 9/11, and I think these are in a lot of ways, to take away from the truth movement. But there's theories out there, and who knows? At this point, I am a contrarian to my core. I don't fully believe anything because we're going to get back to the nose out. There are people that believe there were no planes that day. No planes at all. That there were no planes used on 9/11. No real planes. I mean, there was planes and people are no longer here, but that those planes didn't crash into the towers. Now, I agree with that up until the point that no planes at all crashed into the towers. They believe that. And I'm going to tell you why. For many reasons. One, there's not a lot of news footage with planes approaching. And there's news footage with angles with no plane and then news footage with that same angle with a plane. So there's a lot of video editing and a lot of media incorporation going on the day. Now, this is going to be kind of like the moon landing footage. Because I agree to a point. There is fake footage. Now, the way I know that is the nose out. We talked about it earlier. It was one of the first things that was a red flag to me. The nose of that plane comes out the other side. When it hits Tower 2, watch it. Look it up. CNN or whatever network, live network coverage, nose comes out on the other side. That is impossible. That could not happen. That could never happen. There's no way in life that could happen. Those planes, the nose of a plane can get destroyed by a bird. They have to land because they hit a bird. They're not made to crash into buildings. They're made to fly. They're light. They're not built for damage. They're not. That's not the way it goes. But people believe that shit. There are people, you can show them the nose out and they'll be like, well, that was really just a hollow tube, which is not true, by the way, at all. But there's people that'll say that. And they'll be like, oh, that was just only support was on the outside of those buildings. That's also not true. I'm going to get to that again in a minute. But even if it was true, concrete and steel, that plane hit. A bird. We just covered how a bird can destroy the nose of an airplane. It went through and came out the other side. Survived the explosion, survived both collisions with both walls. Even if you think there's only two walls, let's say you believe the government story and you believe that thing was a hollow straw-like tube, which it wasn't, and we'll get back to, but if you do, how did it get through both walls? They were strong enough, at least, right, to hold 1,300 floors since the 70s, decades. How did it do that? How did it come out the other side? Well, what I think happened is they tried to doctor the footage because they weren't commercial airliners that hit the towers. They were drones. That's what I think happened. So they doctored the footage. I think that's why there's problems in the news footage, and there's proof of doctored footage in the news footage. Even some of the publicly released stuff. There's a wing that disappears at one point in one. A lot of people will know what I'm talking about there. It'd be easier if I had examples I could show you, but there's lots of problems with the footage, and I think you have to at least admit there's probability there that the media rigged that footage up, was involved in that part of it. So, Ginger says, "Hope you get there, Sean." I will. You got to believe. And I talk about that every day on the burn. I'm going to live what I preach. You got to believe. You got to believe you can do it. That's the first step. But that's what we're talking about. Right now we're telling some theories are true, Kilo says. You're right. Right now we're talking about what woke me, but we're going to get into what woke you. I want you to share your story. So tell me in the comments, participate in the show. This is a participation show. Matter of fact, it'll be better the more you talk. Anybody that watches can tell you that's true. So come on over to YouTube, though, and hang out with us and subscribe. I think we can definitely get to 1,000 by December 10th. Hey, Cindy. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Larry. Yeah, comment, participate, talk. I want to know what woke you. We're telling my story right now. My story is about 9/11. Your story could be about anything. And that's what I want, because this is going to be a medley. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. This is my baby. But this is a subscriber drive to my YouTube channel at its core. The regular night for Conspiracy Theories and Chill is Wednesday night, as you guys know. Tonight's is going to be just about anything. It's going to be about what woke you, what woke me. So I don't want to spend way too much time on my story. I realize we've spent a lot on my story. So I want to get to you guys' story. So please comment and let me know. But that was one of the first things for me, was the nose out. But like I said, there's people that take the conspiracy all the way to there is no planes, and they have reasons for it. And there's a lot of reasons behind a lot of these conspiracies. And most of what we cover on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, a lot of it at least, is not even conspiracies. It's true. The only thing that would be a conspiracy, like for instance, let's take a recent topic, MK Ultra, right? Everybody understands, at least I hope that everybody understands, that MK Ultra was a government ran program by the CIA with the intention of making mind control slaves that they could use for assassination purposes, for all kinds of different reasons. This happened. It's real. It's not a conspiracy. The only part that's a conspiracy is I think they still do it today. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of evidence for that. But that's the only part that's conspiratorial. A lot of what we talk about on Conspiracy Theories and Chill is actually true. And that's what we're going to do tonight, is kind of a medley of everything. And just an out of the park Conspiracy Theories and Chill. So this probably will be the best ever episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But we've been talking about 9/11 because 9/11 was what woke me. Now we can go more on 9/11. I could start at the beginning and do all of 9/11, but because that was my main thing. So I've done years of research on 9/11. As much as a regular person with access to, and we have access to a wealth of information. Really, the internet is a weapon and a tool at this point anyway, if we protect it. It's being killed off. The truth is being eliminated and suppressed and made harder and harder and harder to find. But if we protect it, if we do all we can to help it grow, we can turn that tide. And there is a mass awakening happening. And like I said, that's what this show is for, is waking people up. So Larry said the Philadelphia Project was tied to MK. It was absolutely tied to MK. So was Montauk. And we've covered Montauk before on the show, but I want to redo that one because I've come a long way and learned a lot of things. Now we're doing these professionally. I've been a professional live streamer now for about 3 months, and I do this as a part-time job now. Hopefully, eventually, it will become my full-time job. And this channel, Modus, Me on Things and Stuff, is going to be the hub for all of that. We're going to try to build a little network here. So that's what we're doing, is promoting that so that people come over and subscribe there, because I'm being throttled viciously on Facebook and shadow banned and shut down, and it's just out of hand. So, and we need to have a centralized location for everything so that you know where to find it and where it is. But that was my story. If you want to get more into 9/11, let me know. Or MK Ultra even. MK Ultra I'm pretty strong in. You'll find that I'm pretty well versed in a lot of stuff. I love conspiracy theories, and even the ones I don't agree with, I like. And I find interesting, I find fascinating, and I also find truth in a lot of them. Even if I don't fully agree with them, rather, there's truth in them. Truth usually lays somewhere in the gray area, is what I've found. It's never one way or the other. It's a little bit of both, a lot of times. So, at least that's what I've found. I'm sure you found pretty much the same thing, because we all are at least going to share at least that much of a similar experience in our wokeness, or whatever you call this. I don't know what to call it. Woke sounds silly to me, but I guess that's kind of the best thing to call it. We see that there's something very, 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 very wrong in the world, and we know that it is our responsibility and our job to fight it, to eliminate it, to push it down and kill it as best as we possibly can. And I think the way we do that is by waking people up. And we do that by spreading the truth, by getting the truth out as much as we possibly can. This is my effort at that. You can share stuff like this and you share the truth. Plant seeds. I think a lot of times we try to shake people awake and you can't do that. That never works. I think we need to be more surgical in our approach and realize that you're getting through. Even if you're not seeing instant results, you're getting through. So spread the truth. That's the best way to do it. And if we're spreading the truth, we're speeding up the awakening. And the awakening will reach a point where they can't stop it anymore. The good news is we're doing that. And I think we have the momentum needed as long as we own this and take responsibility and push it forward. We can wake everybody up. We can do this. I really believe that. So that's what a lot of my shows are about. Is spreading the truth in a way, point people in the direction of the way to put a stop to what's happening. We're on a collision course for disaster the way we're heading. Kilo says just watch the nose video. What do you think? How much are you into 9/11, Kilo? If you don't mind me asking, have you delved deep into 9/11? Is that something that you've looked into very much? Because you never know. Especially, I don't know what age range you are. It's hard to tell on YouTube. It's a little different because you know the names are different. Like on YouTube, my name is Me on Things and Stuff. It's not my real name. My mama didn't name me on Things and Stuff. I just thought that was a clever name for a YouTube channel because I talk about a little bit of everything, but at the core of everything is the truth. And that's the most important thing that I want to do on this show. But another topic that I thought we could get to that I kind of touched on a little bit in my previous story is JFK. Now, I want to do an in-depth conspiracy theories and chill on the JFK assassination, but there's a lot wrong with it. I do have a particularly favorite theory on what happened, or a particular favorite theory rather, of my own on what happened that day. And the best version of what took place is from a movie called Everything is a Rich Man's Trick. And they go into how there was a lot of people involved in that type of thing and powerful people that had secret meetings and that were all in that area at the time of the assassination. And they think, they've done research in this video, at least, that they show that they believe that there was, I think, 6 teams of snipers. And Harvey Oswald was a patsy, but I believe MK Ultra. I don't know if they get into that in Everything's a Rich Man's Trick video or not, but I believe he was an MK Ultra victim. But yeah, he was a patsy, but there was 6 teams of snipers in this particular scenario. There's a lot of different scenarios, and I haven't chosen this as my favorite. It's just my favorite right now. And that the final fatal shot came from the sewage drain. My particular favorite theory. Tell me yours. Share yours with me. I had somebody tell me once in a feed when we brought up JFK that they thought it was legitimate. Lee Harvey Oswald legitimately did that, and that they could prove it to me. They didn't. They weren't able to prove it to me, but they thought they could. They believed it. So, Cameron says BC DeGraff is getting throttled and harassed for his Bernie and DSC rigging documentaries. I don't doubt it. It doesn't surprise me. It's sad. It's really, really, really sad what's happening. We're being suppressed and shut down. They're doing all they can to edit and erase the truth in real time. We're up against a terrible amount. And what we have to do is stuff like this and share stuff like this and get it out and share the truth and talk about the truth. But what do you guys want to get into? You want to talk a little more about JFK? Like I said, I like that particular theory that there was up to 6 teams of snipers involved, and I even think that the last part about the final shot coming from the sewage drain makes sense with the angle and the way his head went back into the left. Makes more sense. And plus, there's a lot of evidence. They really break it down good in that documentary, and that's a great one for sharing to people. Everything is a rich man's trick. It's like 3.5 hours long. It is fantastic. If you've ever seen it, you would agree with me. It is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Another one that I highly recommend, but it pisses me off that the makers of this documentary have backed off of the 9/11 truth movement and distanced themselves. And I think even said now that they believe the official narrative, which you have to be insane and ignore logic to believe. But I think he even says that now. But Dylan Avery, Loose Change, that's a great one. The final cut opens with the whole story of the mm, I hate when my memory lets me down. The Reichstag fire in Germany. You know, a lot of what's going on in our country is a power system that has been in place and moved around the globe for a long period of time. It is not centralized to America. We are the military arm of the Illuminati. You know, that is what we are. That's what America is. And we enjoy a lot of luxuries because of that. But we are Team America World Police. That movie was meant to be a comedy, but it's a documentary. It's true. We are Team America World Police. We are the military arm of the true power of this world. We don't defend freedom and democracy. That's not what we do. It's just not what's going on. And the people pulling the strings have evil agendas. And they're trying to bring biblical prophecy to life. They're trying to bring about the end times. You understand? They're trying to bring the Bible to life. They're fighting the same fight. They're just on the other side of it. They're Luciferian. And I'm not talking about the sweet little nice Satanists that are pushing for government rights and separation of church and state and have a coloring book and after school activities. And I understand they have a really nice 10 commandments or however many commandments they have. Not them. These are Luciferians. They worship demons like Moloch and Baal and believe in sacrificing and pedophilia and all kinds of disgusting stuff. It's real. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. And like I said, I've been told that we believe this stuff to comfort us. How is that comforting? How is that a comforting thought at all? That there are Luciferians running this world in power over us, making decisions. There's a recent video on the YouTube channel, Me on Things and Stuff, on Lucius Trust about this. And Lucius Trust is a real, openly Luciferian organization that runs out of the United Nations and is very prominent at the United Nations, has a meditation room that they're proprietors of, and they have a huge mural that hangs in the Security Council of the UN where they make decisions about wars and, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people's lives, millions of people's lives. In this room, under a Luciferian mural of the rise of Satan, the ascension of Lucifer. That's what the theme of the mural is. That hangs on the wall of the UN Security Council room. Why? Why would that be? They're openly Luciferian. Bohemian Grove, Larry says. Very good. Bohemian Grove is real. Please give that a Google. Everything, that's another thing. Most of what I tell you on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, if I tell you is true, you can take, 5-10 seconds and find out it is. This is the age of information. Like I said, the internet's a very powerful tool. We're all walking around with a computer in our pocket. We're literally cyborgs. Being ignorant in this day and age is a willful act. You have to try. So you can go look any of this up that I tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. And if I tell you something I don't know for sure, I'll say it. Like when we talked about the JFK thing, I told you that's my favorite theory. I haven't picked my own yet. When I pick my own, I'll tell it to you, and I'll stand behind it. And I stand behind the Luciferians run this world. And they do. And Bohemian Grove is another one of their little ceremonies where they worship and pay tribute to and do a sacrifice to the god Moloch. And they do the cremation of care. It was caught on video by Alex Jones. A lot of people dismiss it because Alex Jones is the one that caught it, but I see that as no reason to dismiss anything. You know, no matter who exposed it, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Now, I believe that Alex Jones has controlled opposition, and I believe that it was leaked on purpose, but I also believe that the Illuminati believe, because they put it in their writings, that they have to show us what they're doing. They have to show us their intentions. They always show us, and our silence is our consent. They put it all out there for you to see. They want you to see it. They're mocking you. Like we said, 6 corporations own the media. That includes Hollywood. Don't nothing get made without money. Cash rules everything around us. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Wu-Tang. But let me know what you guys want to talk about. But look up that video on Lucius Trust. It's on the YouTube channel, here on Me on Things and Stuff, the hub of my entertainment network. Please come subscribe if you're here on Facebook. I don't know how many people are here on Facebook because it said 17 for like 40 minutes. I don't really know how many people actually are here. It plays games with me and toys with me. It plays with the numbers because it knows I care. So it toys with me. I swear, I wish I could send you a screenshot. It has said 17 for at least 20 minutes. Hey, Tina Bobina, it just showed me you were here. I hope I got to say that while you was here. I don't ever know if it shows me while they're actually here, because Tina never comments. You should comment, Tina. These are audience participation shows. The more you guys comment and smash the like buttons and participate, the more people come to the show. And the further it gets out, because a stupid robot controls all that. Now, to a certain degree, to another degree, they're throttling me pretty heavy, and this is about as good as it gets lately. 17 is phenomenal. I'm very proud of 17. So just the fact that it hit 17 makes me very happy. But this has been to get this over to YouTube, to get you guys to come to YouTube, subscribe, and join my YouTube channel, to help us get to 1,000 subscribers and to follow the content. If you like this show and you like the little shows that I do, subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us and keep up with everything that we're doing. But let me know anything you guys want to get into. Hey, Kanan, let me know, because we'll get into it. This is the audience participation part of the show. I've rambled on. What we were talking about tonight, and the theme of tonight's video, was what woke you, because you're going to be able to use that to wake others. If you think about your experience, you weren't always woke. So what woke you up? And once you think about that, think about what your life happened, what happened, what the transition was like. You didn't wake up immediately. I didn't realize that 9/11 was a false flag and go, oh my God, Luciferians rule this world. It took me a lot of digging to find that out, to realize that's the truth of it. But what woke you? And then what was your waking process like? And you're going to be able to use that information to wake others. And that is the purpose of this show. That is what I'm always trying to do. And that's what our goal is. So if you believe in all of that, subscribe to us on YouTube, because that's going to be the hub for as long as YouTube and Facebook and Twitter is useful. That's going to be the hub where we hub out of, because I need a free site that I can hub out of, and YouTube just happens to be perfect for that right now. Until they're no longer perfect for that, or until there's a better option, that's going to be the home. Because I just don't have the supporters right now or the financial ability to do a website. I kind of been told by a lot of people that that may be the way we have to go. So it might be down the road something that happens, but right now I can't make that happen yet. But smash the like buttons and share, and come subscribe on YouTube to the YouTube channel if you like this stuff. And thank you guys so much for coming. And you want to get into anything before we wrap up, or is there anything that you think is important to waking others that you want to get into or anything like that, let me know. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how social media is a weapon. Tomorrow's conspiracy theories and chill. Um, James says opposite of the last show, buffering 65 away. Oh, from 1,000? Yeah, we're gonna hit it, James. Don't worry, we're on our way. I'm focusing on it, right? I made it a goal, and we're so close. So we have to make it happen. So help us get to 1,000. Share this out. Share the YouTube link. There's 15. It finally changed. 15 here on YouTube or Facebook. Come to YouTube. Me on Things and Stuff. Very same show, just on YouTube. The link is on my timeline. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are 60 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers, and I think we can hit it today. So give the Facebook video a quick like, then go to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And that way you'll be able to follow all of my content, and then you can even look back through it and watch all the great content, and then follow all the future content. Think of how great it's going to be just to click that subscribe button. So great, you'll probably want to click the little bell too, so that you'll get notified when I make new videos. But Ginger said 9/11 made me turn off the TV forever. It took a little more than 9/11 for me. Uh, what made me turn off the TV? When did I absolutely stop? I absolutely stopped watching mainstream media at the end of the 2016 primary, and I exclusively watch independent media at this point. When I give the effort to do that, I'm wanting better independent media to follow. Actually, I want to follow actual journalists. I like to follow actual journalistic individuals at this point. Like I'm real into Ginger turned me on to Susie Dawson. I've been looking at a lot of videos and trying to learn about that, and that was hard. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Since Ginger's here, that bummed me out at first. It really broke my spirit a little bit because I was down anyway because of the throttling and the shadow banning. But what's happening to her and other truth tellers, people that are doing what I want to do, people that are pursuing the thing I'm trying to make my job, they get their lives ruined. And it's like there's no future in this. But I love it and it's what I want to do, so it's what I'm going to do. But 9/11 made you turn off TV. For me, it was probably seeing them rig an election with the media. And then also realizing, because I didn't watch the media much, but I did follow it during the Bernie campaign. I have to say I watched the media, but I knew it was lying to me. I was still watching independent media, but I didn't turn it off completely until then. But I've known it was pageantry and weaponized propaganda for a while. I still watched it. Now I just get my shows that I like off of different, like Hulu and Netflix, and pretty much all internet for me. James says thanks. No problem, man. And thank you. I know that you've helped me a lot, and I know it's been hard. And it's been hard for me too. It's been a long journey, but we're going to hit it. We're going to get it. I'm telling you, we're going to make it because I believe it. And when you believe something, you can make it happen. And what we got at least a week or two before the 10th, right? Totally going to make it. Joe says my cell phone wakes me every morning. Yeah, mine too. Jeff says reading project for a new American Century was a wake up call. Read that. That's the document that was released months before 9/11, and it calls for a new event like a 9/11 in order to get people to support endless war in the Middle East and what's going on to this day. They talked about it openly how they needed a new 9/11 event. Ginger says, "Okay, I like Chris Hedges, I like Abby Martin, um, and I like Max Blumenthal. I haven't heard of John Pilger." Or Eva Bartlett and Vanessa Beeley. I like Tim Pool, but he's right leaning, and he shares some good truth. And then you listed a lot of good ones already. Abby Martin, Chris Hedges. I like. I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but I like his writing. And there's a lot of good examples. I tend to focus more on that stuff now and the philosophy of life and things like that because the news is depressing and it's meant to be. You know that people respond better to negative information? They scientifically proved that, and that's why the news is so negative. Well, that's one of the reasons. They're also using it to control the public vibration, your happiness. They've got it down to a science. The media is a weapon much more than just to misinform you. It's used against you in a plethora of ways. That is good, dude. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. And this has been such a success. I think we got into a lot of really good stuff. But tomorrow night is the official night of the show. This was special. A way to boost the YouTube channel because we're so close to 1,000. So come subscribe. But while we're talking about wrapping up, I'm putting together a best of Mandela's video. I love the Mandela effect, and I love getting into it. And I want to do a best of Mandela's, like I don't know, 50 or 100. But I want to put together what the best ones are. So what do you think the best Mandela effects are? What are your favorite Mandela effects that you'd like to see in the video? And what do you think about the Mandela effect? Because the other thing I'm going to get into the video is how I believe that the Mandela effect is being caused by the research done at CERN. I think that they're creating these problems. They're creating these shifts in reality. But that's only because there are certain Mandela effects that I would swear on a stack of Bibles that are true. And that freaks me out. But what do you think of Mandela's, and what are your favorite Mandelas? What would you like to see? Ginger, I will. I will look up John Pilger. He wrote about Bikini Island and also the coming early on China. Did you know that SpongeBob is based on that? Bikini Island? That's what it's based on. That's why it's called Bikini Bottom. They're mutated freaks from the nuclear explosions or nuclear experiments. That's what SpongeBob is based around. So it's crazy, and I totally will look him up. Thank you. But coming war on China? You think we're going to go to war with China? We're in an endless state of war. Wouldn't surprise me. You mean troops wars or trade wars or wars of philosophy? They're another superpower. There are is the one world, the new world order. I believe they already have their hold over the world, but they're not unopposed. You know, they're not unopposed. Oh, Pilger was at Bikini Island? Wow. That's cool. But that's the little island. Whenever they go to the surface, that's what that's supposed to be. That's a representation, anyway, a cartoon representation of the aftermath of nuclear experiments and stuff. I just find that fascinating. But I need to look into it more. That's really all I know about it, is that SpongeBob is based around it. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And let me know about those favorite Mandelas, because I'm working on that right now. The Mandela videos do really good, and I think they're fun. But there are some that I believe to my core. So what are your favorite Mandelas? And let me know in the comments. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Excuse me. And remember to tune in tomorrow for the regular night of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. We're going to be talking about how social media and Facebook and Twitter and all that is a weapon, and has always been a weapon. So we're going to get into that tomorrow on Conspiracy Theories and Chill on its regular night. But thanks for coming to this and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. And come over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Me on Things and Stuff. The link is in the comments and it's on my timeline. And you can search me on things and stuff on YouTube and you'll find it. Subscribe. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. So help us get there. But thanks so much for coming. And if you support this show and you support the shows that I do, thank you so much for that. One of my supporters is here right now, Ginger. We have 3 supporters on Patreon. We're trying to grow that too. So support us on Patreon. Help us grow. And the website could be a possibility down the road. I don't know what we'll have to do. Like I said, I might end up in my garage on shortwave radio. Like William Cooper, like my hero. You know, we'll bring it all the way back around, full circle. Who knows that that's not where we'll end up anyway. Though, Ginger says his documentary about it for sure. He's on YouTube. He fights for Assange. Right on. I fight for Assange too. We all have to. We need to make that personal, that fight. Julian Assange, maybe we'll make it a co-topic tomorrow because it's important. It needs to be something we bring up every feed. We have to speak up for what's happening to Julian Assange. The truth is being killed in real time, and he is being persecuted literally for sharing the truth. And I try to talk about that all the time. Anytime I get an opportunity to mention it, I try to bring it up. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I got to turn the bedroom back over to the Babels. But I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Conspiracy Theories and Chill on its regular night. But thanks for hanging out with us. See you then. Spread the truth. Wake people up.